Okay, so I've taken you here to St. Ethelburga's, one of the oldest churches in London, and in fact the smallest city church. St. Ethelburga was actually the abbess of a monastery, and she was also in fact the daughter of King Ethelbert, who was the King of Kent when England was made up of 7 kingdoms, and he was one of the first Christian kings in the country. This church was actually established in 1250, but there's been a place of worship here going back to Roman times. It survived the Great Fire of London, so actually this was an example of how churches looked before the Great Fire, because of course so many churches were destroyed here in London at that time, and it went on. It had to be, rebuilt at various times because of age, but at one point, in order for them to make money, the front here was turned into a shop so the funds could be raised for the church and its upkeep. But in 1932, the road had to be widened, so the shop was taken away. But I'm sure Christian will be able to find some pictures for you of how it looked when the shop was there. So in order to go into worship, you'd have to go through the shop and then into the church itself. It was damaged slightly damaged during the Blitz, but what really put paid to this church was the IRA bomb of 1993. The whole area was a huge bomb was dropped here. Well, not dropped here, but was exploded here. And the church had to close for a full decade. But it was opened again by Prince Charles. And it was opened not so much as a church, but as a centre for peace and reconciliation. Their ambition was to make peacemakers in this establishment here. And then, after the 9/11 atrocity, a tent was put into the back, and I will show it to you in a moment. Tents don't have windows, but this one has, and each window represents one of the world's faiths. And it also has the word for peace in various languages. Now, I'm going to take you around to the back, so if you follow me. Okay, now one lovely story that I like about this place here is this fountain. Now, it wasn't like this back in the day, but when the IRA bomb exploded in 1993, well, you will see the pictures. The place was absolutely devastated. And there was a fountain here with goldfish in it. And people figured, okay, they just looked at the damage and they figured, okay, those goldfish are goners, and they started to clear the area out. But when they came to the fountain, it was kind of upended, but there was still water in one corner, and all of the goldfish were actually alive. There's a message there somewhere. Can't quite figure out what it is, but I love that. Okay, and now I'm going to show you the tent itself. Okay, now there is a verse from John Meadows' translation. The Arabic reads, Ilahuna wa ilahukum wahidun. Our God and your God is the one God. So why are people from various religions fighting? And that is the spirit that this Centre for Peace and Reconciliation is trying to engender in people. Anyway, peace. Thank you for watching. Okay, we're still in the heart of the East End, and I've taken you here to the Providence Row Refuge, night refuge. In 1860, a Catholic priest, Father Daniel Gilbert, he came here, and in the 1860s, this was the height of the British Empire, but the poverty in this area was shocking. And Father Gilbert, he realized that something had to be done. So he appealed to the Sisters of Mercy, and he took 5 sisters from Wexford in Ireland, and they came over here and they were nursing and taking care of the poor and the destitute in this area. But they had to expand, and eventually they had this huge building here, and they would take people in, and regardless of race, creed or colour, etc., which they are to be commended for. In this day, people had to go to workhouses and things like this, and families were broken up, but not here. Women could stay with their children. Although strangely enough, actually, there is an entrance for women over there and an entrance for men over there, but the engraving has been taken off. It means something special to me because the Sisters of Mercy, or as sometimes we refer to them, the Sisters of No Mercy, because they were quite liberal with the cane. But when I look back on it, I realised that they were so overworked, looking after so many people, they must have been on the verge of a nervous breakdown. So they are commended for what they've done here. With the advent of the welfare state, they weren't needed so much, but the people who did need them were individual men and women who had fallen, they were martyrs to the drink, as it were, and they looked after them until they were closed down. And now it is actually accommodation for the university students in the area. So there we go. God bless the Sisters of Mercy. Thank you.